Now let's look at the classes that represent different types of exceptions. At the top of the exceptions hierarchy, we have the throwable class, which defines the common characteristics for all exceptions and errors, like an error message and the stack trace. So every kind of exception or error has an error message and a stack trace. Below this class, we have two classes, exception and error. The error class and all its subtypes represent errors that are external to our application, like out-of-memory error. The exception class is the parent for all checked and unchecked exceptions. Below this class, we have the runtime exception class, which represents runtime or unchecked exceptions. So if an exception class derives from the runtime exception, it's considered an unchecked exception. Otherwise, it's a checked exception. I know, this is a bit weird because we might think that any classes that derive from the exception class is a checked exception. So runtime exception should also be a checked exception, but that's not how it works. Why? Honestly, I have no clue. You have to ask the developers of Java. So let's quickly explore this hierarchy in Java documentation. So we search for Java null pointer exception. Here's the documentation on oracle.com. All right, look at the exception hierarchy. So here we have the null pointer exception. This class derives from the runtime exception, which derives from the exception class, which in turn derives from the throwable, and as we can see, the object class is the parent of all classes in Java. Now, if you're curious what other runtime exceptions we have, you can go here and under direct known subclasses, you can see all types of runtime exceptions. Now, you don't really need to learn about each of these individually. You will get to know them as you build Java applications. Some of them may never occur to you. So don't worry about learning all types of exceptions in Java. Next, I'm going to show you how to handle exceptions.